Hi everyone, this is GeoWill from that Fine Production Squared, and today we're going to be doing some recording for the Developer's Vlog 16 for Odyssian Void, and we're going to be doing some coding today. So, let me go ahead and load up Visual Studio. I'm actually going to pin this here. What the frack? Oh, there we go, okay. And, I'm gonna go ahead and shrink it down now, and, we'll continue. Or shrink myself down, I should say. Alright, so, let's see. The last time we were working on stuff, I was working on, I think it was skills and effects and things like that. I haven't really done much past that, really, so that's what we're going to be doing today, is kind of expanding on that whole idea, and continuing from there. So, just trying to get my bearings here, see what's going on. Anything is necessary, so really have no clue. I guess it has to do with the spacing or something. It's like this one spot here that doesn't have anything wrong with it, and everything else is all screwed over. Alright, so yeah. Or was it? I can't remember what I was working. Was it something from the database? So I know there's something that has to be done there. Updating and whatnot. No? It must have been skill effects then. Or effects for skills. So effects get mod damage. So what I'm going to be doing today is going to be something a little different from all that. I am going to be working on trying to find a place I can jump in here and work on stuff. I haven't been keeping as good a track of things as I should have in terms of what's done, what needs to be done, all that. Let's Alright, let's go ahead and get away from that for a second. I want to go ahead and work on the tool. We'll work on the tool today. I think it's this one. It's the most up-to-date one. It's because I can't figure out what to work on the game, so we'll work on the tool. So I loaded this up earlier to actually it was on Friday morning to test it out, because I sent all the files for this, the game, and also an iPhone app I'm making to my work email so I could work on it at work, since we don't really have anything to do at the moment, and want to be somewhat productive. And I was testing this out to see what maybe I could work on, and there's one thing I noticed that was weird, and that was that in the INI editor, if you select the data type before the mode type, so if I go ships, then singular, this doesn't enable, but if I go singular and then data type, As you see now, it works. So I want to figure out why that's happening. This still loads correctly, but it's just this doesn't show up the way that I think that it would, or thought that it would. So I have to figure out why that's happening. So we need to go to okay, we go. That's the DB editor. Okay. So we want to go to main. No. SE editor. What did I CS ResX DB editor? Oh no, just on that. Okay. Alright, so load data and let's go over to the events. So actually let's go over to this. So each one of these items has their own event here. I just want to go to this event here and figure out what's going on. So, let's see. B data type selected, true or false. So that's right. It may be the way I'm checking it. I might be checking based on B check. I think it's up here somewhere. Actually, I can just go look for it. So yeah, it's M selected B. So what I should do is this, then do an OR. I should also probably encapsulate this in parentheses, just to kind of segregate it. Or BDT selected. I have no clue if this is actually going to work or not. It shouldn't need this to work, but BM selected. Maybe it does. Get these out of the way. Let's go ahead and rebuild it. Start. No, it's still not doing it right. So that wasn't the problem. I didn't think it was, but had to check anyway. So the question is, why? Question is always why. So let's throw a breakpoint here. And let's do let's look at the mode selectors here. So if is selected and mcompact is not checked, that's interesting. We're not actually calling B check from here. That's why. Or B check. So it's only getting checked if we are calling it from the data types. And that's why it's not updating. See, these are the kind of things you can track down sometimes. Other times they're a lot more complicated than that. So now there should be no problem. Boom. Okay. Not that items is actually done yet. I think I actually disabled it. There we go. Clear data. So starter ships singular. Go. Of course, that doesn't really matter. You can go ships then load data. Of course, you need to clear it too, otherwise you get the overlapping data. Although that was hilarious because I think. Okay, it wasn't quite the same. 1 to 5 instead of 1 to 8. But yeah, that's kind of hilarious. I should really disable the load data after you click it, so you can't reload data like that. So let's go ahead and add that in. So back over here, load data. Once you clicked on it, we want to go ml data dot enabled equals false, and then also want to disable the other ones as well. So what are those buttons called? So mmode and mdata type. Also want to disable those. Now, when we click on clear data, we want to re-enable these two, but we want to uncheck what's been checked. So, let's see, is there a way to do this economically? We could pass a reference of that. Well, it wouldn't. It'd have to be a pointer, wouldn't it? Of the menu. Tool strip menu item that we can enact upon. So, there was complaining about something. What the hell? Here we go. Oh, enabled. So back over here, clear data, click. Register controls. Alright, so if okay. So that deals with that. And actually, we can actually leverage this as well in saying mdt weps dot checked equals false. And essentially add this in for all these different situations here. We just leverage the actual else if statements here to do our work for us. It's not an ideal solution, but it works within the means of what's here, which sometimes you just have to do, even if there's a more economical way to do it. I'm gonna do the same thing down here. I think I already thought of this and decided not to do it because what we could do is invert these. We can have, each of these have a compact and a singular check. However, that would mean we double the amount of code. I think I probably said that before we could do that and said, no, that's, that would make more code than what we need. This way is the most efficient way, but it's not necessarily the most efficient way for this type of a system. So what we can do is, let's go ahead and implement that idea I had. So I want to call uncheck menu item. I want to pass through m or m underscore dt it's down here near the bottom. Go ahead and add that in. So private void uncheck m item, and it's going to take menu toolstrip menu item. Actually, I should probably put it inside of this because that's where it most likely goes. So I'm going to take address of get size over declare pointer to manage type. So maybe we just do that and it'll be enough. Well, let's see. Then we have this, and we just say TMI dot checked equals false. And then what we can do up here is call that and pass through the type, the menu item. Really? Uncheck m item. Missing a T. There we go. So just copy paste this. Change our modifier thing here. So m lasers. S ships. Actually, that should have been ships. I don't know what I was looking at. Then weapons. Or weps. And same thing for these. So let's go ahead and see if it works or not. So mode singular, we'll say ships, load data, disables, that's good. Clear data. Does not re-enable though. That's something we need to fix. I forgot about that. Need to re-enable them. So load data can stay disabled, but the other menu items have to come back online. Cool, it did work. It's nice. Alright, then we need to do the same thing. We can do the same thing with these, except just at the bottom. So M underscore singular M underscore compact. So now everything becomes unchecked, and load will be disabled. We need to also reset the bools up here that we use to check with. Maybe it does it on its own with these. Well, that's only if we click it and enable it or disable it. We need to also just be able to disable it whenever. So this one, and the other one, mode selected. Okay, so let's go ahead and start it and check it all out. Won't be able to tell the the state of those things, but at the same time, it does help deal with a possible bug later on. What is this, like, this dot thing over here? Oh, I know, it's for resizing. That's right. Except they don't work. For some reason. Actually, that's a good thing. I think I disabled them. Yeah, it's like a resizing thing that we see down here for that, but... clear data. Load singular... buttons, or was I meant to go compact? Alright, that's good. Thing is working properly. So, what we will do is, that's right. We don't have empires added in yet. So what we're going to work on today . is a DB editor. We're going to work on adding in some of the stuff we're going to need for that. So, jeez. Let's do the DB editor design here, and start thinking up of how we're going to do this. Obviously, we'll need new windows for this. So, what we'll do is we'll start with something really simple like the query mode. So what's going to happen is that you'll essentially put in a query, execute the query, and then any of the results that come back will be displayed in an actual table kind of format. And that getting this mode working will lay the groundwork for these two modes. So these two modes will have to do the same thing as with this, except you'll have to load the database into the entire database or a particular queried row into the table itself. So this will be the starting point. So the UIs for all these three modes are going to be pretty similar, and there will be some differences, but there will be consistent things throughout. Like all these will have a table at the bottom of them to display results, or a table in them somewhere. In the case of these two, it'll be on the bottom, or kind of taking up 2/3 of the screen. On this one, it'll be taking up all of the screen, because this one will just have the entire database be accessible. Whereas this one, you can either access a single type, like weapons, or even a specific weapon to edit. Whereas this one's gonna be more for like what you do with the queries, like say you want to edit only laser weapons, then go in there and do the query mode with it, or you want to edit a lot of things. So this one's gonna be kind of a combination of these two, but it'll also let you go through and query certain stuff. Like, for example, you'll be able to load up the save file into there and query and look for, say, asteroid sizes and amounts of ore and whatnot that's been created by the random generation asteroid generator. So this is going to be a more powerful tool than these will. It'll allow you to do more things, but also it's going to be a little more complicated because of that. Whereas these two are going to be pretty simple. This one you'll just be able to select, pick a type of item or put in like an ID that you want to edit. Whereas this one's just going to be, access to the entire database. So it'll be like, using SQL Administrator or SQLite Expert, but not having all the extra tools, like all the, you won't be able to query with this. You won't be able to display only certain stuff or stuff like that. It'll just be for editing the database wholesale, whereas these two will be a little more specific. And this one's just for editing the save file, save database. First and foremost, I'm going to line these up so that they're properly adjusted here, because they aren't quite right. Obviously the buttons are a little bit different size, but at the same time they should be lined up in similar fashions. And even if they don't exactly line up with themselves. Close enough. So what I want to do is I want to have this actually work. So it doesn't do anything right now, so we're going to say need to go look at the editor over here because I've forgotten how that works. I haven't dealt with this for a while. So this actually doesn't do anything either, does it? Oh, what the heck? Options, that's what we can do. So save settings, this doc, okay, it's just this doc close. That works. So this dot close, which we can also do over in here with this close button as well. We should also add a check in here, or well, INI editor. So we'll say so now. Alright, for whatever reason, the video wouldn't unpause. I don't know what was going on. I also don't know if you actually got, if all that got in. I'm gonna go check it and see if all that got in or not. We'll be right back. Alright, for whatever reason, Bandicam decided to crap out on me, so he missed a little bit of it. I went and added in the check to see if the save button had been activated. In other words, if there's been a change for the INI settings, because unlike the database, which is updated automatically, that doesn't get updated automatically. But I also want to add in not just a trick that says you can't, you know, to save it automatically. I want to make it a choice. So like if you don't want to save something, then you don't have to. And for that, I was looking up how to do the return result from the message box, which is this here, and that's why we're over here now. But that's what we're going to add now, is how to add this in. I'm not going to go through and just copy paste it because that's kind of stupid. You can do just go in, and it's not that much coding to do. So if save enabled equals true, should be equals. So in other words, if the save button has been enabled, in other words, if a change has been enacted, then trying to think if saving is done automatically. I guess it is done automatically, isn't it? So click saved. Okay, no, yeah. So you still have to hit save in order to save these things, the changes. Or do you? Delete controls. No, yeah, you do, don't you? Okay, so yeah. If it's been enabled, we have to do the check for that. So, dialog result results equals message box or dialog box? Message box, okay. Message box dot show title, which will be message will be, or no, it's the other way around. Oh, yeah, okay, no, that everyone, yeah. So changes not saved. And then for the caption, we'll say unsaved changes detected. Yeah, we need to have the null in there. That's right. Why doesn't this have it then? Yeah, it doesn't have it in there. Interesting. I wonder if it's another an override or something. I like to do that. I like to do the full thing though. Not rely on overrides that may or may not exist. So unsaved changes, message box buttons. So for that we have to say what? So yes, no, cancel. Okay. Message box buttons. Yes, no, cancel. Icon is going to be message box icon dot warning. Funny. Huh. So we'll say warning. I won't do that. So last bit there. I don't think I did. Let me see. Yeah, no, that's all we need. So now we have to do a if then else on the result. If results, and this is going to be if results, okay, dialog result no or whatever. So if results equals dialog result dot no, then I actually should just say if it's yes, then do something. If not, then do nothing. So if it's yes, then this dot close. Otherwise, do nothing. Let's just say yes, no, no cancel. What would the cancel be used? So, I guess it would be used for if you're saying, do you want to save the file before you exit? So, like on Word or something, when you go to close an unsaved file, it'll ask you, do you want to save this file before you close? Yes, brings up the either saves it or brings up the file dialog box. No, just closes it, and cancel will stop the action from happening. In this case, no acts as no and cancel at the same time. So, yes, we'll just close it. So let's go ahead and do build errors now. Really? Let's see, only assignment, call, increment, increment, no, it can be used in a, oh, whoops. Forgot the, parentheses. So let's go ahead and go to the INI editor. You know, load up something here. Let's go singular and mining lasers. Load data. Ah, no. Out of range. Ran into this problem before, too. I'll have to go back there and figure out what's going on with that. Start and try this again. Singular ships. We'll go with ships. So, actually enable it no matter what. Let's just go ahead and actually make a change. Let's change it to 44. So, return to menu. Changes not, see, unsaved, changes detected, changes assured to exit the editor, say yes. And it'll do nothing. Won't save anything. Say no would have just, yeah, done nothing. So that works good. Let's go ahead and go back to the database editor. There was a way to keep that from happening. Having the text selected when it opens up. Had to do with how the elements were ordered in the design. So, yeah, tab index. Change it to 1. Now, editable, selectable, looking for something like that. Text, accepts return, allow drop, accepts, enabled, false. Read only true. Alright, let's go ahead and load this up. So that wasn't right. How's it set up for main? So false, false, false. Enable true. No control. Multi-line true, true, true. Tab index 0. Although for some reason it doesn't get selected. Visible word wrap. Locked. False. Modifier. See. Right to left. Huh. Let me get all the design things together here. False, false, enabled, true, no control, multi-line, shortcuts enabled, tab stop, use care, false, false, tab stop, false. Ah, there we go. Alright, so now what we want to do is I'm going to create a new window here. So I'm going to go to add new, add, let's see, new item. It's going to be a Windows form. We're going to call it query mode. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to add in a table element here. Where's my toolbox? I want to dock it underneath this. Okay, there was nothing down there before. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we need a table view or something similar. Table layout panel. How did I do this? Maybe it's just some sort of like a view. I just set up things and set up to be a table. Let me see. Set over here, C#. Table view interface, table view. Data grid view, that's it. Data grid view. Access, delete, and put it back in. What was that? Oh, data source. Okay, yeah, nothing. Because it's not going to be using that kind of a thing. So we'll have this here. Obviously, I'll probably want to have, let's see, border style, fixed 3D. Let's see, cursors. I want the scroll bar. Look at it both. Okay. We'll need a text. I don't think a text box, but like a text area. Or we'll do a text box, but make it a multi-line text box. Sure. Actually, we'll have a menu strip as well. So forms menu item, then yeah, so form menu item. Menu item. So file. Yeah. Okay. Then for file, we'll say put it down a little bit. I'll need a label. Let's do it this way. Let's put it on this side. For the text, we'll say and then we'll do some buttons. We'll add another one. Oops. That one will be and this will clear both the table and the query. Alright, that's basically how it'll be set up. For this one, anyway. So now we need to figure out how we can link up this with the actual So data grid view. Okay. Really, that's it? Huh. Interesting. So you need you have the path, which we already do have. You need the SQL query. Create a new connection. Try connection datasets. Basically the same thing there too, huh? Alright, so let's go and try this. So we'll probably need to import, if we haven't already. Well, we just created this, so we'll have to go through and do it. C#. See if there's anything specific we need to do here. Let's see. So this is going to be a 32-bit. So there's going to make it a 64. Not going to be working with that much data. Well, I don't know, maybe eventually, but not anytime soon. So 4.5. I think I have 4.51. No, I guess that's for something entirely different or something. Let's just go back over and we'll download the files that are down here. Makes more sense.